We charge the card, then we blow it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, mutants and non-mutants, gather round for a mutant marvel that is bound to make you go wow. Welcome to the mind-bending and kinetically charged spectacle that we call Gambit, Anatomy Explored. In the vast ocean of extraordinary mutants, there's always that one mutant who stands out like a well-tailored suit in a sea of spandex. And that, my curious comrades, is none other than Gambit. Yes, we're not just talking about his dashing good looks and his penchant for playing cards like a Las Vegas high roller, although let us admit that he is quite the talent. Gambit's uniqueness transcends the realm of mere charm and flashy powers. Prepare yourselves to dive into the enigma of a mutant whose abilities are a delightful cocktail of elegance and chaos, blending together to create an unstoppable force. With a devilish charm and a Cajun accent that can make the Mona Lisa blush, Gambit has us all spellbound. But hey, don't be fooled by his charisma, because this Louisiana lad packs a serious punch, and by punch I mean literal explosions of kinetic energy. So buckle up folks, we are about to embark on an electrifying journey into the depths of what makes Gambit tick. From his mesmerising mutant abilities to the very essence of his Cajun soul. Get ready to be blown away, quite literally, as we unravel the mysteries of Gambit, the card-slinging and energy-charging maverick of the mutant world. But just before we go into our video, we have a small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. So thank you very much. Now let's begin. Who is Gambit? Exploring his origins. Let us talk about the legend of Gambit, the charming, card-throwing and devilishly handsome mutant with a past as colourful as his eyes. Abandoned at birth for his burning red eyes, this little Le Diable Blanc caught the attention of the New Orleans Thieves Guild. Clearly, even as a baby, he had that je ne sais quoi that said, "I'm destined for greatness." Or at least some epic thievery. So, kidnapped from his cradle like some sort of baby heist movie, Remy LeBeau found himself raised by street thieves. It's a bit like Oliver Twist, but with a mutant twist. These folks taught him the art of thievery, which he must have mastered like a pro, because later he attempted to pick the pocket of none other than Jean-Luc Lebeau, the Thieves Guild patriarch. Now that's serious ambition, trying to steal from your future adoptive father. This charming rogue roamed the world, perfecting his thieving skills and wielding his explosive, energy-charged playing cards like a magician with a killer deck of cards. In fact, he even got involved in some mutant superhero business when he teamed up with Storm, who was in her amnesiac child-sized phase. Who knew that a tiny Storm could be so adorable? Of course, as with any self-respecting X-Men character, he's had his fair share of struggles, like those pesky powers slipping out of control. Cue the master geneticist, Mr. Sinister, to lend a helping hand. Well, more like a lobotomy, but who's counting? At least it's sorted out the overcharged kinetic energy issue. Now, when you're a dashing thief, things are bound to get complicated, right? So to keep things spicy, the Thieves and Assassins guilds decided to throw in a marriage. Remy and Belladonna were supposed to tie the knot, but instead of a romantic walk down the aisle, we got a duel and an excommunication. Classic New Orleans drama. Speaking of drama, Remy's life took a dark turn when he was tasked with leading a team of mercenaries to massacre the Morlocks. Oops. Looks like that wasn't in his job description. Fortunately, he saved a young Morlock girl, future X-Man Morrow, so he has got a heart of gold underneath all that thief swagger. And just when you think things might settle down for our dashing hero, bam! Alternate reality versions of himself, blind adventures, and struggles with mutant powers galore. It's like he's trying to keep a mutant soap opera running single-handedly. But in the end, Gambit always finds his way back to the X-Men, where he is the master thief with a heart of gold, and also a sense of style that never quits. So if you're ever in need of some excitement, some mystery, some charm, just follow the burning red eyes, and you'll find Gambit, the suavest mutant in town. What are his primary mutant abilities? Oh, Gambit, the walking explosion machine with a knack for turning anything and everything into a ticking time bomb. The guy has the amazing ability to manipulate kinetic energy, which means he can charge up objects with explosive force. Imagine him strolling through the streets, charging up playing cards and flicking them around like a deadly magician on steroids. I bet he's a real hit at parties. But let us not get ahead of ourselves. This isn't your ordinary mutant parlour trick. Gambit is potentially one of the most powerful mutants out there, with the potential to be an Omega level mutant. That's like the mutant elite, the cream of the crop. However, there is a catch. He couldn't control his power. So imagine going to the gym, bench pressing 1,000 pounds, but then you can't put the weights back down. Yikes. To fix this, he had a little surgery courtesy of the enigmatic Mr. Sinister, who essentially lobotomized him. Yeah, I know, not your typical post-mutant adventure spa day. Now, don't think his powers are just limited to playing cards and fancy explosions. No. This mutant has serious finesse. He can manipulate the potential energy of pretty much anything, from objects to people's actions. That's right, he can change someone's resting energy into kinetic action, making them move in a way that suits his fancy, like having a remote control for reality. Oh, and speaking of fancy, let's not forget his hypnotic voice. Not only can he charm the pants off anyone, and probably the shirt as well, but his charm is so powerful it can even charm the infamous Shadow King. I guess you could say he has a way with words, and actions, and basically everything he touches. But let's not go too far. As much as he could be a one-man cosmic circus, Gambit prefers a simpler life. Like a home-cooked étouffée with his sweetheart Rogue. Sure, he can go blow up planets and manipulate reality, but deep down, he's just a guy who wants to live a normal-ish life. You know, with the occasional card-flinging explosion here and there. So if you find yourself in need of a walking fireworks show, or a suave thief with a hypnotic charm, just look for the guy with the burning red eyes and a deck of cards. Trust me, you would rather have Gambit as your ally than your enemy. And hey, if you ever get bored, you can play a game of poker with him. Just make sure to keep an eye on those cards, or it might just all blow up in your face. Is Gambit an Omega level mutant? The age-old question, is Gambit an Omega level mutant or not? It's like trying to figure out if the chicken or the egg came first. The truth is, Gambit's status is a bit of a mutant mystery. He's like an alpha-omega cocktail, a mutant with both potential and limits, the ultimate party mix. At first glance, he seems like the perfect candidate for the Omega level club. With his ability to charge objects and turn them into explosive goodies, he could potentially blow up anything. And I mean anything. The guy could give a supernova a run for its money. But hold your horses, because there's a twist in this mutant tale. While Gambit might have the potential to reach Omega status, he's usually rocking it out on the Alpha level most of the time, like having a Ferrari but only driving it at a leisurely pace throughout the neighbourhood. What a waste. He's got the X gene to make him the cream of the mutant crop, but he had an unfortunate surgery intervention courtesy of Mr. Sinister. Yes, that's right, Gambit went under the knife, or scalpel, to get his powers under control. And that was like having a superpower volume knob, and he decided to keep it at alpha setting most of the time. Now, imagine for a moment, what if Gambit had decided to let his powers rip at full blast? Picture a world where he has total control over kinetic energy, time travelling, and dimension hopping away like a boss. He could have been the ultimate mutant adventurer, the new sun rising in the Marvel universe. But alas, it wasn't to be. He's just an X-Man with a flair for explosive theatrics and a hypnotic charm. Oh, and let's not forget the mutant massacre, the time he guided the Marauders to the Morlocks. Why, you ask? Oh, just a little power control issue, nothing to worry about. It was like a mutant sitcom episode, but gone wrong. So, Is Gambit an Omega level mutant? Nah, not really. But he has got the potential, the charisma and the swagger to light up the mutant world, even if he keeps it on the alpha level most of the time. Who knows? One day he might decide to crank up the powers and give those Omega folk a run for their money. Until then, let us just enjoy the fireworks, the charm and the everlasting question of what could have been. Cheers to Gambit, the Alpha Omega cocktail of the mutant world. What are Gambit's Death Seed powers? Hold on to your hats, folks, because Gambit has got himself some deadly new tricks up his stylish sleeves. As the Horseman of Death, you can bet your last playing card that he has a whole new power set, and boy is it killer. Let's start with toxic transmutation, shall we? As Death, Gambit can turn breathable air into poisonous gases. Now talk about a deadly makeover. Forget perfume or cologne, he can now create clouds of doom or transmute the very air in someone's lungs into a deadly concoction. It's like carrying a portable weapon of mass destruction wherever you go. Breathe at your own risk, folks. And that is not all. Brace yourselves for the Death Charge. Forget about his regular kinetic charge, this one is way more sinister. With a flick of his wrist, his cards can now break down living matter on contact, completely disintegrating his victims. That's like a mutant version of those magic acts where the magician makes things disappear, except in this case, it's real, and it's deadly. And oh, did we mention trajectory manipulation? Oh, it's just the little ability his death persona has to mentally guide those charged cards straight to the target. It's like he's playing a deadly game of darts, but instead of aiming for the bullseye, he's aiming for certain doom. But wait, because there's more. As if his deadly powers weren't enough, he has an enhanced psychic resistance to boot. So you know those pesky telepaths trying to mess with people's minds? Well, they can take a hike because Death Gambit is unaffected by their mind games. It's like he has psychic armor. Talk about being mentally bulletproof. Oh, and let's not forget the icing on the sinister cake, corruption. When he reverts to his death persona in Limbo, because why not do it in style? He has this nifty little trick up his sleeve to corrupt other creatures and bend them to his will. So move over, fashion influencers. Gambit has the power to turn his friends into pitch black and white-haired versions of himself. Who wouldn't want to join the Death Makeover Club, right? So there you have it, folks. Gambit's Death Seed powers. From toxic transmutation to death charges and mental resistance, he has a deadly bag of tricks that would make even the most menacing villains green with envy. And who knew a stylish thief could become such a force of destruction? So just remember, if you see a charming Cajun man with burning red eyes and a deck of cards, beware. He might just be the Horseman of Death in disguise. How is Gambit so quick with great reflexes? Ah, the speedy, flexible and acrobatic marvel that is Gambit. Have you ever seen a guy move so fast and gracefully that you think he's just dancing with the devil himself? Well, that is just another perk of being a kinetic energy wielding mutant like our Cajun friend. You see, when Gambit taps into that sizzling energy, it's like he's plugging himself into the turbocharger of life. Suddenly, he has a boost of speed that would make a cheetah jealous. Zooming around like a kid hopped up on sugar, but with way more style and swag. But wait, there's more. Not only does he become faster than a speeding bullet, he also has the reflexes that will put a ninja to shame. It's like he has a sixth sense, dodging danger with the precision of a dancing maestro. You throw something at him and before you can blink, he's already gracefully sidestepped it. And not to forget his newfound strength. He's not exactly lifting buildings or tossing cars like they're feather pillows, but he has got an extra oomph that comes with tapping into the energy flow, like having a secret stash of mutant steroids, but without the nasty side effects. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth does he do it? Well, it is all in the energy game. You see, when Gambit charges up, he gets a little side effect package that includes increased flexibility, dexterity, coordination, balance, and endurance. It's like a mutant combo meal, with all the cool add-ons and none of the calories. And let us talk about that unique acrobatic fighting style that he's cooked up. It's like he's part gymnast, part breakdancer, and part ballet dancer rolled into one lethal package. He moves like a whirling dervish, spinning, flipping, and kicking his way through any battle with the grace of a gazelle on steroids. But here's the kicker: even with all these snazzy enhancements, Gambit's abilities are just a notch below superhuman. That's right, folks. He's not quite in the same league as the big league supers like the Hulk or Thor. But hey, who needs to be superhuman when you can be a suave, charming, and acrobatic Cajun that everybody knows and loves? So there you have it. The secret behind Gambit's quickness, reflexes, and acrobatic finesse. It's all thanks to that sizzling energy that he wields like a pro. So, the next time you see a card-wielding and energy-tapping charmer zooming around with superhuman speed, just remember, it's all in the kinetic energy game, and Gambit has got the upper hand with style to spare. Does Gambit have regenerative powers? The mysterious world of Gambit is regenerative powers. It's like trying to find the elusive ace of spades in a deck of cards. Yet, you heard right. The charming Cajun has a little secret up his sleeve when it comes to healing. Now, Gambit might not have the Wolverine-style supercharged regeneration that can knit bones back together faster than you can say healing factor, but he has got a nifty little trick of his own. Picture this: he's like a cellular activity magician, stimulating his own body's repair crew to work double time, like having a personal team of tiny workers, all geared up with hard hats and tool belts, fixing him up from inside out. You know that time that he got a bone slag stuck in his chest? I mean, ouch, that had to hurt. But not to worry, because our kinetic energy connoisseur just gave his regenerative powers a little pep talk and voila, problem solved. It's like he has his own on-call maintenance crew ready to tackle any pesky injuries that come his way. But wait, there's more. Remember when a charged card decided to explode in his handsome face? Now, that is the kind of surprise you don't want to get on a sunny afternoon. But no worries, because Sage, that savvy tech genius, stepped in to supercharge Gambit's regenerative powers. It was like a power-up in a video game, but instead of leveling up, he restored his sight like a pro. However, don't get too excited. Gambit is not exactly using his regeneration powers every other day. No, he keeps them tucked away like a secret weapon, only busting them out when he really needs them. So it's like having a fancy sports car that he only takes out for special occasions and keeps it fresh and shiny. Ultimately, while he might not be the king of regenerative powers, Gambit has got a little healing magic of his own. It's like having a pocket-sized medic at his beck and call, ready to fix him up whenever the need arises. And with that charming smile and a deck of charged cards, he has all the tools he needs to dazzle both on and off the battlefield. So, next time you see our kinetic energy flinging Cajun in action, just remember, he's not just a master of charm and cards, he also has a few tricks up his sleeve when it comes to healing. It's almost like he has a dash of magic in the world of mutants, and that's what makes Gambit one smooth regenerating operator. Exploring Gambit's love life. Can he have kids? Oh, the tangled web of love and touchy-feely drama in Gambit's love life. It's like a soap opera with mutant superpowers. Rogue and Gambit, the star-crossed lovers of the X-Men, have had quite the roller coaster ride when it comes to romance, and let me tell you, it's more complicated than a game of 52 card pickup. First, let's talk about that surprise wedding. Who knew Gambit was such a spontaneous guy? We've seen him charm his way through casinos and heists, but proposing after only a few months of dating? Now that's a bold move even for the card-slinging Cajun. But hey, who are we to judge? Love works in mysterious ways, even for mutants. But hold on, because of course there's more. Before he set his sight on Rogue, Gambit had a little fling with Belladonna Boudreaux, his childhood sweetheart from the rival guild in New Orleans. Talk about a love triangle with a touch of assassin vibes. Why, it's like a soap opera plot with a dash of mutant powers sprinkled on top. And let's not forget, Bella is still in love with Gambit, which adds another layer of complication to the mix. Now, Rogue and Gambit's relationship is a true X-Men tragedy. They're madly in love, but there's one tiny problem. They can't touch each other without causing chaos. It's like a cosmic joke played on two lovebirds who can't even hold hands without disastrous consequences. Oh, the drama! Will they find a way to overcome this touching issue, or will it forever keep them apart like star-crossed mutants? But wait, hold on, because it gets even more complicated. Different writers apparently have different ideas about just how much contact Rogue and Gambit can handle. Sometimes they're kissing like there's no tomorrow, and other times the mere brush of a finger spells doom. It's like they have a never-ending game of mutant roulette going on in their love life. So there you have it. Gambit's love life is a wild ride of surprise weddings, ex-lovers with psychic powers, and a touchy issue that keeps love at arm's length. Why, it's very like a soap opera, but with mutant powers and explosions thrown in for good measure. Will these two lovebirds find a way to make it work, or will their love story always be written in the stars of mutant history? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure, it's never a dull moment in Gambit's love life. Did he woo Rogue with his hypnotic charm? Ah, the elusive power of hypnotic charm. Gambit's secret weapon in the game of love. It's like he has a pocket full of aces up his sleeve, ready to charm his way into anyone's heart. But why does no one talk about this mesmerizing ability? Well, probably because it adds a whole new layer of weirdness to everything else he does. You see, along with his impressive molecular acceleration power, Gambit can also tap into the realm of mind control. Let's talk about a double whammy of mutant talents. With just one smouldering gaze and a sultry smile, he can subliminally nudge people into doing his bidding. It's like he has the superpower of persuasion, but with a little Cajun twist. Now, this hypnotic charm isn't exactly a mind-controlling masterpiece. It's more like a gentle nudge in the right direction. It's like saying, "Hey there, sugar. Would it not just be swell if you did what I ask?" Okay, it might not work on strong-willed telepath or those wise to his tricks, but for most folks, it's like falling under a spell. But let's rewind a bit to Gambit and Rogue's first meeting, and this is where things get interesting. Who's to say he didn't use a little of that hypnotic charm to woo the sassy Southern belle? I mean, come on. He has the whole charming Rogue thing down pat, and who could resist those smouldering red eyes and that devil-may-care attitude? Now, we can't say for sure that he used his talent on Rogue, but it is definitely a possibility, and who knows, maybe that little nudge is what set the wheels of fate in motion for these two star-crossed mutants. If he hadn't used his hypnotic charm, we mightn't be witnessing one of the most iconic love stories in mutant history. So there you go, the mysterious power of hypnotic charm in Gambit's repertoire of mutant talents. It's like having a secret love potion just tucked away, ready to be unleashed with a flick of the wrist. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility, and our charming Cajun knows better than to abuse his hypnotic gift. So, next time you see Gambit flashing that mischievous grin, just remember, there might be more to his charm than meets the eye. Think of it like watching a magician at work, weaving his enchanting spells on all those who cross his path, and who could blame them? After all, it's hard to resist the hypnotic allure of the one and only Gambit. Could Gambit briefly see the future? Ah, the mysterious saga of Gambit's fleeting flirtation with precognition. It's like a juicy plot twist that had us all on the edges of our seats, only to vanish faster than a playing card in one of his explosive blasts. Gambit, the charming card thrower with a penchant for explosions, was given the gift of seeing into the future, a power that came and went like a fleeting romance. You see, in a tale that's often brushed aside, like a misplaced playing card, our Cajun hero found himself facing the 8 Immortals. As fate would have it, he got entangled in some pesky vines and accidentally caused a blinding explosion in front of his face. Talk about a fireworks display gone wrong. But little did he know that this mishap would unlock a whole new realm of possibilities. As if being blind wasn't enough of a bummer, Gambit soon discovered that his newfound lack of sight came with an unexpected bonus. It was like a cosmic trade-off. Losing his vision gave him the power to see into the future, through his trusty playing cards. So imagine that, playing cards as the gateway to glimpses of destiny. But alas, this new power was like a flash in the pan. As quickly as it appeared, it vanished without a trace. One would think that predicting the future would become a permanent addition to his mutant toolkit, but no, it was a one-time magic trick that left us all wanting more. And just like a magician leaving the audience in suspense, the storyline was dropped faster than a hot potato. As soon as Chuck Austin left the X-Men party, Gambit's precognition ability was swept under the rug, never to be mentioned again. Poof! Like it was all just a dream, a fleeting moment of intrigue, only to fade into comic book obscurity. Nowadays, Gambit is back to his explosive card-throwing ways, and we can only wonder what might have been if his precognitive powers had stuck around. But that is the thing with mutant abilities, they're unpredictable, like a wild card in a poker game. So there you are, Gambit's brief flirtation with the future, a tantalising tale of what could have been. It's a bit like a missed opportunity in the realm of mutant powers, a footnote in the grand story of Remy LeBeau's adventurous life. But fear not, dear fans, for even without precognition, Gambit still dazzles with his charm, his cards, and his explosive antics. After all, who needs to see the future when you've got the present to light up like a firework? Everything you need to know about his costume and weapons. Let us delve into the stylish world of Gambit's costume and weaponry, because when you're a card-throwing mutant with a flair for the dramatic, you have to look the part, right? First things first, let's talk about costumes. Gambit knows that being an X-Man isn't just about flashy powers, you gotta have a killer outfit to match. His guild costume is no ordinary spandex getup. No, it's armoured for extra protection, because let's face it, when you're in the business of just blowing things up, you'll need all the shielding you can get. Safety first, my friends. That's not all though. Our dashing Cajun charmer decided to spice things up even more with a little magical twist. On his daring escapades, he managed to nick a deck of tarot cards from none other than Lady Saturnine's Keep. Each card is like a mystical treasure trove, imbued with magical abilities representing different characters and their fates. It's like having a pocket full of enchantment ready to just be unleashed at a moment's notice. But now, let's get to the cool stuff, his weapons. Gambit might have explosive mutant powers, but he's not one to shy away from some good old-fashioned weaponry. When he's not dazzling us with card-throwing finesse, he's got some cool tricks up his sleeve. Literally up his sleeves. Throwing spikes and playing cards are his go-to choice for taking down baddies at a distance. It's like a game of deadly darts, and he is the undisputed champion. But wait, there is more. Gambit isn't just about flinging cards, he's got some impressive moves up close and personal too. Enter the telescoping bow staff, the perfect weapon for those moments when things get up close and explosive. It's like he has a Swiss Army knife of weaponry, ready to adapt to any situation. Oh, and here's a little bonus tidbit for you. Gambit knows how to appreciate a good rifle. In fact, he admired one so much that he commissioned a copy of it for himself, because why not add some firepower to the already very impressive arsenal? And there you have it. Everything you need to know about Gambit's costumes and weapons. With his armoured attire and a deck of magical tarot cards up his sleeve, he's ready to take on any challenge that comes his way. And when it's time to throw down, well, he has the throwing spikes, playing cards and telescoping bow staff at his disposal. Gambit is like a walking weapon emporium, charming, explosive, and always ready to steal the show. What are some of Gambit's major weaknesses? Let's shine a light on the not-so-perfect side of our suave card-throwing mutant, yes? Even the most charming of heroes have their weaknesses, and Gambit, of course, is no exception. First and foremost, let's talk about the classic conditions that keep Gambit's powers in check. As much as he'd love to be the ultimate energy-wielding master, there are some pesky limitations to deal with. His kinetic energy manipulation can't touch living things. So, sorry, no explosive hugs for you. Instead, he needs good old physical contact to make his powers work their magic. So if he's itching to make something go boom, he will have to get up close and personal. He can't just throw a charged card from across the room and watch it detonate like a firework. No, that'd be too easy, right? And now we get to the juicy part. That infamous surgery by Mr. Sinister. Ugh, what a dramatic twist. You see, Gambit's powers once ran amok like an untamed wildfire that couldn't be contained. Yeah. But fear not, for the dashing Cajun didn't let it hold him back. In a bold move, he sought the help from the villainous Sinister, and had him perform a little brain surgery. Just a little piece of the brainstem removed, no biggie, right? Well, it was all for the sake of controlling his powers and making them more manageable. After all, who needs the entire universe exploding at their touch? And let us not forget the debate surrounding his powers and organic beings. Some say that Gambit's powers can't affect living things, but others are quick to raise an eyebrow at the claim. It's like a mutant tug-of-war between skeptics and believers. But one thing is for sure, it's a touchy subject, pun intended. And there you have it, people. Some of Gambit's major weaknesses. Living things are safe from his explosive touches, he needs physical contact to work his kinetic magic, and he had a risky run-in with Sinister's scalpel that kept his powers in check. But don't let those weaknesses fool you. Gambit is still one heck of a charming and explosive hero, ready to steal your heart and blow things up, all in one dazzling package. Is Gambit immortal? Oh dear. It seems like our charming card-throwing mutant may have run into a bit of a snag. Immortality is all the rage these days among the X-Men, but it appears that even the most immortal of them can hit a roadblock now and again. Yes, it's true. The seemingly unstoppable X-Men have found a way to cheat death, thanks to the wonders of resurrection technology. Krakoa's got it all figured out, bringing mutants back to life with their memories and personalities intact. It's like a cosmic reboot, but better. However, as with all things, there are exceptions to the rule, and it looks like Gambit is about to find himself in the pickle. Oh, the irony. Gambit has always been a bit of a risk taker, and his latest escapade in the other world might have just cost him dearly. In a daring move, he faced off against the villainous Merlin, leading the charge like the heroic heartthrob that he is. But alas, the odds were not in his favour when Merlin fired a deadly spell at him. Quick on his feet, Gambit unleashed a powerful explosion with his magical tarot deck. Talk about a flashy exit. But now the big question, did he bite the dust? Well, the situation is as mysterious as his hypnotic charm. The pool of blood surrounding our fallen Cajun is cause for concern, and we can't help but wonder if Gambit is taking an unplanned vacation to the great beyond. It'd be quite the plot twist for such a beloved character, especially ones with dreams of solo films. Thanks, Channing Tatum. But hey, if he is truly gone, at least he went out in style. Fighting the mystical overlord of the otherworld, that's no small feat. The Knights of X might be facing tough times, cut off from reinforcements and all that, but they can't afford to lose someone like Gambit. And let's not even get started on how Rogue might react if her beloved husband is gone for good. Someone is in for some serious wrath. But naturally, not everyone is shedding tears over Gambit's fate. Destiny and Mystique might have been doing a little happy dance, given their reservations about their daughter's choice of a life partner. But hey, let's not jump to conclusions just yet. There's always the chance for a dramatic plot twist or a miraculous resurrection in the world of comics. After all, if anyone can defy the odds, it's the X-Men. So let us hold on to hope, keep our fingers crossed, and wait for the next issue to reveal Gambit's fate. Until then, let us celebrate his adventurous spirit and remember that even the most immortal heroes can face the unexpected in the marvellous world of mutants. Marvellous verdict. And there you have it, dear mutant enthusiasts and curious minds alike. The mesmerising enigma of Gambit, unravelled before your very eyes. From his suave demeanour to his explosive powers, this marvellous mutant has proven time and again he is in a league of his very own. As we conclude this awe-inspiring trip into Gambit's anatomy, let us take a moment to appreciate the sheer uniqueness of this mutant prodigy. In a world brimming with extraordinary beings, Gambit stands tall as a testament to the boundless creativity of the mutant universe. His abilities to charge objects with kinetic energy and throw them with pinpoint accuracy, coupled with his irresistible charm, have etched Gambit into the annals of mutant history as a fan favourite. But beyond the flashy exterior lies a complex soul shaped by a rich history and a sense of honour that makes him an intricate character worth exploring. So whether you find yourself enamoured by his card tricks or inspired by his unwavering loyalty, one thing is for certain, Gambit will forever hold a special place in the hearts of mutant aficionados everywhere. As we bid adieu to this captivating journey, let us remember that the world of mutants is vast and ever evolving. There's still countless stories to be told and countless mutants yet to be explored. So how do you feel about Gambit? Let us know down in the comments, and if you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us on your way out. That would mean the world to us. Until we meet again, may your days be charged with excitement and your adventures filled with kinetic wonder. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of Gambit's extraordinary anatomy, and may your own powers of curiosity never cease to amaze you. Stay mutant-tastic.